Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are back.
We are back. What's the crack?
Another album review.
What story, Luke?
What is happening, Gavin?
All is good in the hood.
Do you want blood?
I want blood. Jerry Cantrell.
I Want Blood by Jerry Cantrell is the album that we are going to review this week.
But before we get into that, we're going to do a bit of homework.
We have a bit of a public service announcement to make.
Have to get this out of the way.
The very unkind, greedy bastards, people at Patreon,
at Apple,
are upcharging the subscriber fee
for our Patreon. Anyone who subscribes through the App Store, the Apple App Store, the Patreon app,
will have to pay a premium, a tariff, as
30%.
Donald Trump would say.
Donald Trump tariff.
We'll put a tariff on them all.
30%. So, of course, if you're enjoying this podcast, a great way to support it is with the Patreon. So instead of giving Apple the 30%, well, they don't need it. They have enough.
Believe it or not, there is a seasonal discount code for Patreon at the minute. TSP Xmas 2024 will get you a subscription for €1 for the month, or 50% off any of our subscriber tiers. So you can get a subscription for the month of December for as low as 50 cents.
Wow. There is other options there. There's a 5 and a 10, I believe, as well.
So they will be slashed as well for the month.
This is the time to get on it. Look, if you're enjoying the podcast, it is a good way of keeping this thing going. Sign up, and if you want to sign up and avoid them silly fees for Apple, go to www.patreon.com/thatsoundpodcast, and you will see all the options there. It keeps the thing going. Look, for the price of a pint or a cup of coffee a month, or even half a pint, a glass of shandy, it will keep the thing going, keeps
the thing ticking over, and it'll keep us improving.
Yeah.
We'd like to thank you all for those who have subscribed. We are also doing the monthly giveaways, as you know, and we just done one this evening.
Yeah.
So somebody walked away with a Grateful Dead vinyl and a voucher to the Universal Bookstore in Letterkenny, in the wonderful county of Donegal.
Yeah, and if you're not from Donegal, they will post it. They will look after you. Check out their Facebook page, Universal Books Letterkenny. They have nearly every hour they have updates of different vinyls that's on special. They don't last long. They're up for 2 minutes and someone grabs it. So very cool vinyls and at very good prices. So check the buys out. Also, if you're not familiar, we have an Instagram page that we're fairly on top of, more so than Facebook, I'd say, Luke. Follow us at That Sound Podcast, and you'll see some of our stuff there. It's a good way to get updates and bits and pieces.
Any wee bit that you can do for the podcast in support, we would greatly appreciate.
Reviews, you can give a review.
Anything at all.
All that crack. But right.
Before we go into that, we'd like to give a big shout out to our listeners in Boardman, Ohio.
Yes. They've been with us from the start.
They have. We have some listeners in some very remote areas, or some not so well known areas.
Seattle.
Across Oregon.
Yeah.
We have some other places also. I must bring it up on the insights for next week. But we're unsure if you guys are on social media.
Yeah. If
you are, send the page a message, be it on Facebook or Instagram.
Yeah.
If not, send us an email, please.
Yes, look, that's a good...
thatsoundpodcast@gmail.com. We are open to all your suggestions for album reviews, for any questions.
Yeah, send us a message.
Anything
we'll read it out on the podcast.
Yeah, anything you would like to hear on the listeners only episode on Patreon.
Yes.
But we would like to know who you guys are in Boardman.
Yeah.
And we might even have something for you for Christmas.
Follow us on
all
Instagram,
your support,
and we'll get back to you.
Send us a message or an email. We'd like to get in touch.
Yeah, definitely.
So for this week's album review,
yes, Jerry Cantrell, I Want Blood. I'm going to read the old notes out, look. So Jerry Cantrell, it is the fourth solo album by Alice in Chains guitarist Jerry Cantrell. Released on October 18th of this year, 2024. The album contains 9 songs, 46 minutes long, which include a range of different musicians who recorded with Jerry on the album, including Rob Trujillo from Metallica, Duff McKagan of Guns N' Roses, Greg Paccio, I can never pronounce his name. He's from Dillinger Escape Plan. He helps on the live tour with Jerry. He has done on the previous album as well, Brighton. He goes on tour with him. He do the backing tracks and all that. He's done his own stuff as well.
Musical director.
Yeah, no, he's a performer.
Oh,
Yeah,
brilliant.
and he plays a bit of guitar as well. I can never pronounce his name. Paciato, Pachetio or something. Sorry, Greg, there, if you're listening. I doubt you are, but if you are. So, Duff played on the tracks Afterglow, I Want Blood, and Echoes of Laughter. I really like Echoes of Laughter.
That one, yeah.
While Rob is credited on Vilified, Off the Rails, and It Comes. So, Mick Bourdain played drums on I Want Blood and Let It Lie. Let It Lie is a good track.
It's
too.
a good track. I like that one.
A lot of bends in it.
Yeah.
A lot of bends.
Vilified is a brilliant opener.
Yeah. So the track listing I'll just read out. Vilified, Off the Rails, excuse me, Afterglow, I Want Blood, Echoes of Laughter, Throw Me a Line, Let It Lie, Held Your Tongue, It Comes. So it was recorded at JHOC Pasadena, California.
Right.
Its label is Double J Music. I believe that's Jerry Cantrell and Joe Barresi, he produced it.
Brilliant.
So producer Joe Barresi, who he worked with Queens of the Stone Age, Soundgarden. He done the Grey chapter by Slipknot, and he also worked with Apocalyptica.
No way.
Yeah,
That's unreal.
yeah.
Very good.
So what else have I got here? Yeah, so we can get into the album had 3 singles. Vilified, which was released early on before the album dropped, Afterglow, and I Want Blood.
Vilified is a brilliant
So
song.
yeah, let's get into Vilified. I'll read my notes and you can give your. So I thought, listening to Vilified, a very Alice in Chains feel.
Yes, for sure.
Eerie delivery of the vocals, very contagious guitar riff. As always, the hook, Jerry's hook. Composers on this track, like it is reminiscent of the Alice in Chains stuff, and that's what got my ear straight away. I'm like, oh yeah, because the previous album, Brighton, people will always say, oh, you're just staying with the fucking, you're playing safe, like we talked about in the members only podcast about we done a Linkin Park review where it's he's just trying too hard. Jerry, and for me, the first 2 tracks, yes, he is kind of playing a wee bit safe, but still works.
Oh yeah.
It's not like,
for sure.
you don't
I don't actually think, not to argue with you, I don't think Vilified is playing it safe.
No, but it's the Alice in Chains. If you
If
you
it's
listen,
very reminiscent.
if
of
you
Alice
listen
in
to
Chains.
Brighton, which is the album before, he
It's out
tried
there.
he tried something different.
Okay.
He tried, but this is kind of bringing it back to that dark, sludgy, grungy, fucking.
Yeah, you're waiting to hear like
Yeah.
with the.
So it is reminiscent of the early days of Alice in Chains. The drums are heavy and almost set up into a trance-like state. I did say it to you earlier on, Luke. I thought the drum sound was, some tracks it's kind of, I won't say hidden, but it's definitely a guitar album.
Yeah, I would totally agree. The drums sound to be mixed very differently across the album. It's not like other albums where you listen to and you feel the volumes are the same for every track.
100%. No, I couldn't agree more with you.
You feel that some tracks the drums are more present than others.
100%.
And then, as mad as this sounded, I had said to you in the voice note, I had listened to the album with a pair of in-ear headphones. I thought there was actually some parts of certain tracks where the drums were different in the parts, so you could nearly tell that it wasn't a playthrough,
Yeah, I was sampled like.
that it was maybe dropped in.
Yeah,
Do you know that they recorded maybe the verse and the chorus and then they done the bridge separately,
yeah,
as if the track was split mix that a wee bit different.
Yeah. I know, like, there are a couple of albums coming up that we're going to talk about the loudness wars and all that. Like, this did seem loud.
Yes, very much so.
And the bass and the drums.
Well, the bass and the drums were brilliant.
Yeah.
And the guitars were fabulous, but it was
condensed a bit.
Very strange that sometimes the snare sounded really thin in some tracks and far away.
The cymbals sounded weird to me.
Yeah, the cymbals were like shortened.
They weren't crashing. They hadn't had that bleed. Like.
Yeah, they didn't have that. It was more pronounced. Just that attack.
Start and stop.
Yeah, there was a fast decay.
Because there's so much layered guitars on this too, and obviously Jerry has a guitar.
The guitar tone's fucking
unreal.
insane.
And then a bit of that voice box as well.
Oh, it's brilliant.
But
we'll get to that.
Yes. Right. Will we move on to the next track?
The kick drum sounded great.
Okay.
I thought the drums sounded good. They just weren't loud enough.
Yes. I do agree.
And Mike Bourdain's playing was absolutely class.
Yeah. You could definitely feel. I thought the bass. You could definitely see the difference in the players. I thought.
Yes.
I did think. I think there's a song I'll get on to, but yeah.
I feel as mad as this sounds.
I could hear some Velvet Revolver in it with Duff.
Rob has a sort of gravelly bass tone. Do you know, nearly like a diesel engine? There's a growl off it. Like, it's aggressive, it's scary, it's angry.
He's plucking too. I think Duff uses a pick, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not too sure whether he does or he doesn't, but there is a profound difference between both players.
Yeah. But this opening track set the tone for this album. When I first heard this album a couple of weeks ago, I was like, oh, here we go. Like, this is, to me, this was like, I haven't heard this since the 90s.
Yes.
Oh fuck, it's back.
I did feel some of it was very Alice in Chains-esque.
Yeah.
In a good way.
In a good way, yeah.
Another thing I had said to you earlier on the Members Only podcast was that some of these tracks reminded me of the late 90s, early 2000s WWE promo music.
Right.
And
I Want Blood, I think.
I couldn't help but hear Stone Cold bad mouthing The Rock, or cutscenes of Triple H having a go at Mick Foley or Shawn Michaels.
Put this in the background.
Angle, at Judgment Day on Sunday. You know?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. That kind of so Vilify then rolls into Off the Rails. Giving it a good listen again today, I think I'd take Off the Rails slightly above Vilify. I love the two of them.
Vilify's brilliant.
I love
strong.
Yeah. But right, I don't know if you picked up on this, but the first thing we have to talk about this song is the opening riff. It's Wasted Years by Maiden.
Did you think so? Which one again?
Off the Rails.
Off the Rails. I'm going to play a wee bit of it.
Just be careful.
Just a small bit.
It's slower, but it's Wasted Years.
Let me see. I Want Blood. Jerry Cantrell.
And I don't know how this hasn't been
Off the Rails. Very similar. Yeah. Just without that tremolo picking of the more open notes in between.
Yeah.
It is very similar.
Now it has been, to be honest, I'll hold my hands up, I did hear it without someone else saying it, and then
somebody else pointing it out.
I looked at some stuff and like there was other people doing
saying
reviews.
The same.
Yeah. But I don't know why there hasn't been any copyright. It's not the same tempo, but it's the same kind of tone and the same structure. But I still fucking love it, and it even sounds eerie or slowed down.
Yes. Yeah, there's a that could fit as much in a Linkin Park song with a different twist on it, not the tone.
Yeah. So I think Rob Trujillo plays a nice bass line in this track and really carries, especially on the bridge. Jerry's vocals really bring you back to the early 90s. So good. It's dark, mysterious, grungy. I kind of get, what did I say? Soundgarden vibes from this one, especially the vocal delivery and the structure of the tone.
No way, I must listen to it now with that in mind.
Yeah. Like this solo brings you on a nostalgic headbanging ride from the 90s. Like you said it, Luke. Like Jerry. Right. First things first. Jerry is a fucking master at his craft.
He is. He's a master craftsman.
He is.
Yeah. As a singer, as a songwriter, as a rhythm guitarist, and as a lead guitarist.
Yeah, he has it all.
Yeah, he does. He's the full package.
He is the full package, like, and
a great artist, great musician.
Great, and he's a great guy. I don't know if you've seen. Shout out to another podcast.
Wall Again.
No, Rick Beato.
Oh, Rick Beato's.
Beato, and Wall Again. Check out Wall Again. But Rick had Jerry on and he spoke for an hour.
I must watch that.
And it wasn't an interview. It was kind of something like we do. Just
shooting the shit.
Just talking shit. And they were listening to tracks and nodding along and talking. Very good. Check it out. It's on YouTube. Jerry's chat with him. What did you think of it, Luke, off the rails?
I thought it was good. I thought the album was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really, really good.
Yeah. There weren't like a lot that I would have pinpointed, bar vilified. There was a track in the middle that I didn't actually get the name of as I was driving when I listened to the album. One of the slower tracks, I thought, As It Lies.
Yes.
Or It Will Come.
Yeah. After the Low, did you hear? Do you remember that one? It was I'm kind of going track by track here, so.
You know what's actually very good? The last track.
Class.
Is brilliant. And I listened to the last track, and when it finished, I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah. Kind of leaves you on an edge, doesn't it?
Which, as you know, for some of the albums that I haven't listened to that have been recommended, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
When's this over?
Yeah.
I was hoping there was 3 or 4 more songs on that album.
Yeah. Afterglow, I thought this track, now this to me kind of, he's stepping across the water into a new kind of genre on this one, kind of more like the previous album, Brighton, but this track has a slower feel to it. Sounds a lot like some of the previous album, Brighton, like I just said. It's more of an alternative rock song compared to the first two tracks, which is more in the grunge metal area. Decent song, wouldn't be my favourite.
Wouldn't be your cup.
Yeah, it's more kind of pop rock, kind of alternative. It's alright, it's not great. I Want Blood, the lead single from the album. After leaving the nostalgia of the early Alice in Chains in the first 2 tracks and entering Jerry's new style, or maybe Jerry stepping out of his comfort zone with Afterflow, this track to me has one foot in the nostalgia feel and the other one in the new, stepping out of the comfort zone. So it's a nice blend of the both. I have to say I really like the guitar tone in this one. I think Joe Barresi pushed Jerry into some of the desert rock sound from like
I was gonna say there was one of them reminded me very much of a Hanging Tree.
Yeah, that's what I just said. Yeah, from Queen of Stone Age. It just has that just driving down the highway, that, you know. But Duff McKagan plays bass on this one. Lovely fat bass line, really carries the vibe, feel of the song. Like, there is a lot of feel in this album, isn't there? A lot of groove.
There is, for sure. Yeah, there's a great groove, and all the musicians seem to be very well locked in with each other.
But I think even all the tracks, Luke, the solos have serious feel.
They do. Yeah, it's very feel orientated. There's a lot of melody.
Yeah. But one thing I did say to you about I Want Blood is I personally don't like the I Want Blood. I thought it was a bit cheesy.
Yeah, it's not a song.
It's more for radio.
One of the only songs off the album I didn't enjoy.
It's for me, if they left that kind of repetitive I Want Blood kind of cheesy bit and stuck more to that 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and the desert rock feel to it, I would have loved it.
You would have been happy out with it.
Just kind of didn't do it for me. Now, Echoes of Laughter. I really like this one. This is kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out for me as well. Almost bluesy.
Yeah.
At times. This one was a groovier one for me.
Can we give this one a small go?
Yeah.
Keep reading on.
Yeah, but after listening a few times, it's one of my favourites. You have to take a minute to really compliment Jerry. After his long career, he's still able to create a song like this. From the haunting lyrics to the melody and the entire feel. It's like it's Jerry saying, "Oh, you miss me? Well, I'm fucking back." You know, it just kind of has that feel.
I'm gonna give a wee bit of it.
Just 10 seconds.
Great. Great
If
start.
you jump now, we'll be alright. It's definitely a grower.
Great track.
Great track, great.
Yeah.
And I love the guitar solo. Fucking fire on that.
Class.
Yeah, the artwork's cool, isn't it?
Very reminiscent of Halloween. Michael Myers.
Yeah, it's very eerie. It's very dark. It's very, it's Jerry's face behind it. Looks like a pane of glass with frost or rain or something.
Looks like rain, heavy rain.
Heavy rain, and just the shadow and the light and the black and white. It's very, very cool. Throw Me a Line then is the next track. To me, I thought the lyrics are brilliant. It's about the temptation of using drugs again and the effect it will have if you take them. Jerry gives a great rendition of what a user goes through on the daily, that temptation. I thought it was a decent song. Again, the hooks and the riffs, wouldn't be my top 2 or 3, I'd say, on the album, but I do like it. I think it's a solid song. Solid.
Class.
Let It Lie then definitely sounds like drop tuning, like Alice in Chains. I don't know, they did a lot of drop tuning as well, I think, didn't they?
I'm not too sure. I'd have to look that up
Yeah.
a bit more. I couldn't say it off the top of my head.
Yeah. It needs yeah, people say like, oh, Jerry has to change things up like with the nostalgia thing, but I just think, no, fuck that. It's what he's good at, and just let him at it. The bends as well in this song. It's just, what it actually reminds me of this song. If you want to play a little bit of it, it reminds me of Alice in Chains' song from I think about 20 years ago with the newer singer.
Okay.
Check My Brain.
So Throw Me a Line, we're going to give a wee bit.
Yeah, give it a little bit. Bluesy too. Groovy. No, that's Throw Me a Line.
That's the one you wanted.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
Check My Brain.
Oh no, Let It Lie.
Oh, sorry, Let It Lie.
Yeah,
Right, let's have a look at Let It Lie,
a lot of bending.
and then we'll compare it to
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Let It Lie.
That has to be darn tuned.
Sounds like it, yeah.
His voice is still flawless. Class.
So Check My Brain.
Yeah.
This
Do you know
is
this song,
what-
do you?
I can't say that I do.
Even the start of it, Check My Brain.
Very similar.
Same structure. Skip it on a bit. It's different, but it's the same.
Faster.
Yeah. There's a cousin in there somewhere.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, very similar.
Oh, yeah.
Very similar.
Ding, ding. Yeah, the heavy sludgy riff brings you back into that time machine. Time of flannels, shorts, and concert t-shirts. Yeah, boy.
Yeah, buddy.
Hold Your Tongue, I thought was kind of outside the box as well. Sound of the drums as well, especially the sound of the cymbals are very. I thought they were prominent in that one more so than some of the other songs.
Some of the others.
Yeah. And then It Comes. Cool track to finish the album.
Very, very cool track.
Slow-
Definitely leaves you wanting more.
Yeah. Slower. Again, the lyrics really hit in this one. And this reminds me of like Chris Cornell. Just the way it's delivered. It picks up halfway through and then brings you on a hypnotic ride through heavy guitar playing and then brings you back down with an infectious melody and rocks you back to sleep. That's just what it does, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
that's a great, great take on that track.
It's a ride.
Yeah,
It's
a roller coaster.
It just brings you nice and gently. Oh yeah, yes, and then just back you go, bye, take it down. All right, and then you go back to Vilified. It's a solid album
It is.
for 2024. It's a solid album.
Give it a spin. Give it a spin if you're an Alice in Chains
He's
fan.
on tour next year. There's no Irish dates yet, but there's English dates, I believe.
If he done an Irish date, I'd go.
Oh, fuck,
Yeah,
100%.
100%.
I got to see him. I was lucky enough. I did get to see him open for Metallica in Dublin in the RDS.
In 2009.
No, earlier.
The ODS?
Yeah, 02 or 03.
Oh, they supported Alice in Chains.
Alice in Chains did, yeah. I remember them playing Check Me Brain.
No way.
Yeah, it was
That's
good.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it was a good gig.
That would have been something else.
That was just 20 years ago. But solid. If you know the way some people are stuck, including myself, in your 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 albums that you just don't be afraid to check this one out. You'll be surprisingly impressed. I think would be my quote for like old grumpy hooers like myself that don't like to try new things.
Don't like new food.
Give this one a spin because I do think you will enjoy it. Jerry's a fucking legend.
Yeah, no, it's very, very good now.
Yeah,
it's great. I loved it.
Yeah.
And I am normally...
I'd give that one like a solid 7, high 7s out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, high 7s.
I'd probably give it a 6.
Yeah.
And I know that doesn't sound
like
worthy of giving it a spin, but it's good.
Yeah, no, it is good. It's a good album. It's probably one of my favourites for this year, I'd say, to be honest, because there hasn't been a whole lot that came out that I would really...
In other news, Scratch are going to release a new album next year.
Yeah.
New album in the works.
And
saw that during the week.
They lost a member too.
They did, yeah. They lost Geordie, who seems to be going on to
do his own thing
a lot in his, what should I say, solo career. So the best of luck to Geordie in his solo ventures.
Yeah.
Which would be great. But if you haven't managed to get tickets, there are some tickets left for some of the Scratch dates before Christmas.
Yeah.
So check out the Scratch on social media to see what's available. Check them out on Ticketmaster, and if they are within an arse's roar of you,
go check them out.
You won't regret going to see them.
Hopefully we'll have some coverage over the winter.
With a bit of luck.
There's a bit of walking. There's a bit of crack going on.
We'll see how we get on.
You never know. Again, thanks for listening. We really appreciate you guys. Again, if you really want to help us out, get on that Patreon, or you can subscribe to our YouTube, hit the bell, really helps. Leave a comment, let us know what you think of the album. There's a comment box on Spotify as well now, Luke.
Yeah.
And we'll have the crack with you.
Thanks very much. We'll chat to you soon.
Bye bye.